We should be live. Alrighty. Hey everyone, Jessup here. Welcome back to yet another Homestuck live stream. I have a new microphone this time, or I guess not new, it's this new headset I got a couple days ago. I don't know exactly when, but it has a better microphone than the one I used to use, which is very good, but also a shame because that means I have a spare microphone I don't need. Maybe I'll find another use for it at some point. I guess let's go back to the task at hand, which is the webcomic known as Homestuck. Now, if you don't know what Homestuck is, to put it simply, in the words of the application here I'm using to read Homestuck, it is a story about some kids who are friends over the internet. They decide to play a game together. There are major consequences. Long story short, John Egbert and his various friends and his various other autistic friends decide to play the video game Spurb, and it ends up destroying the world and forcing them into an alternate reality where they have to fight to survive and to create a new world across space and time. There are also some aliens who played this game who also are playing this game, but they have already basically lost and are therefore not sure what to do. Right now, one of the human kids, Rose, is trying to uncover the truth of what's going on. But unfortunately, something made it so that nobody else can view her right now. That's what's going on right here. Rose, go dark. Spoiler alert, that guy's racist. Who? Who is racist? There's a couple of Tavros, I mean. Tavros? What? He's like he's like the one I would expect the least. They slip into the fabled Black Death trance of the rogue Gothics, quaking all the while in the blood-eldritch throe of the blood-fested tongues. You advise the members of your Sometimes I wish gaslighting was real. Are you lying to me? Because if you're lying to me, that's really dumb. Because I'm pretty sure Tavros is probably not all that racist. I think there are some people who are racist. Aaron, example. And also, what was his name again? Equius, right? I kinda like Equius, not because he's racist, I just think he's fun to watch. Do his bull crap. Like Riska, I believe I think she's a terrible person, but I love watching her prance around on the stage like she owns everything. Anyway, advise the members of your complicity not to be alarmed, as they chronicle the event in tomes bound to the tan-racking flesh of a tortured hell scholar, with runes stroked and the black tears bled from the corruption-weary eyes of 50,000 imaginary occultists, but they fail to not be alarmed. This is because, as is now painfully obvious to anyone with a brain, you have basically gone completely off the deep end in every way. You have officially gone grimdark. Rose, resist urge to seek revenge. You make a half-hearted attempt to resist the urge. Alas, one is not easily shaken from the blood-festered tongues. Was there music to this one? Alright, I guess not every cool flash can have music, especially for a short one like that. They are stubborn throws. Big man, request timeout. Alright, homies, everybody, all y'all hold up. The big man wants to take a timeout. Havoc. Big man's about to wreak some havoc in the yard. The current. The cord is on fire. Dude, come get this ruler, check this out. Dude, hurry, look. She's escaping from above. Okay, dude, no. Okay, how am I to wreak some havoc in the yard with a meter, you chump ass? Getting with the metric system, what is it even with you and units, man? It's like you must be token up and stone, stoned or something. I can't even think of who leaves all the rings lying around like that. It's so infuriating. You should. Where's the man or manager? Dude, no, let me show you. No, fuck, no, dude. You got to snap it broke ways. Snop. Splinters. It was at this point that when you jump ass is a slur. It is. That's stupid. It just sounds like a fun way to say idiot. Or at that point when you got distracted by the author's hot self-insert. When we were expecting the Easter Bunny, you probably want to know. In fact, Chelsea may have accidentally invented the concept of queer platonic romances. I know that! I did watch a video on that. About how moirails are basically QPRs. You probably want to know how involved the big man wants to get into this story. How much will he fuck this up? This up with moirail before the invention of QPRs. Yeah. At least like before it became like properly mainstream. Like I think basically like that was talked about. All I've got to say to that is Wolf want to know. I want to know. Please tell me. Please be smug about it. Alright, as the indulgent self-insert's growing frequency, you may find yourself increasingly afraid that my direct interference with canonical events approaches inevitability, but you should understand that I'm dealing with forces which, if handled recklessly, will nullify the basic ability of intelligent beings in all real and hypothetical existence to give a shit. It would be stupid of me to mismanage these forces, and even stupider of you to worry about it, because it would be stupid for you to think I was stupid. In fact, I feel a little dumber just thinking about it. When the time comes, I will interact directly with the events of the narrative, but the moment will be responsibly confined to a passive intervention. It will be compact, surgical, and essential. My involvement will have such precision I manage to quantify it in units of physical measurement. I will be involved in only the narrow corridor of space through which light will pass in 3 nanoseconds. My window of influence, end to end, will be exactly 1 yard. So anyway, let's get back to John. John, locate tumor. You think Kelachev is circumcised? I don't know. I don't care. Okay, so the tumor looks like a yin-yang thing. Cool. John, look around. I hope so. I think it doesn't matter. And I think circumcision is actually kind of stupid. Maybe this is because I'm European. John, look inside. Whoa. John, take tumor. John returns to surface. I guess if you want to use this leitmotif, it'd be like, I want to have been custom kinds of stage. He is already an adult. Or if, I guess in that case, if you wanted to use John's actual leitmotif, it'd be da 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 da. CD, approach locals. You and your rabbit friend approach a gentleman wrapped in a fine white cloth and his courageous cohort. A young man riding a great gust of wind. You're so impressed you forgot what you were supposed to be doing. John reunite with Liv Tyler. Sweet, precious, beautiful Liv Tyler. You thought you'd lost her forever, just like Bruce Willis did when he blew himself up with a nuclear bomb in the center of an asteroid the size of Texas. His heroism and fatherly pride. You believe, like, the inferior Veriska is trans? I believe that, as the game states, there has to be an equal amount of, male and female players. So if Vriska is trans, then one of the guys has to be trans as well. So, all in all, I don't care. Also, we saw Vriska in a flashback where she looked kind of feminine, but I guess that's not really like a big indicator. Please make Eridan trans, lol. I mean, I'm not saying anything. I don't care which one of the guys is trans for you to have your trans Vriska theories. It's just gotta be one of them. His heroism and fatherly pride were also first read, though. Yeah, this is a first read. Maris Brothers, Eridan does become a big breed that later down the line. I don't know what that means, so I'm just gonna ignore that. Good luck. With a nuclear bomb in the center of an asteroid the size of... Enjoy. His heroism and fatherly pride were also the size of Texas. But your love for Liv is not fatherly. But that's not really a spoiler, because they're all gay as fuck. Yeah, and they're also autistic. Every single one of the main characters in Homestuck is autistic, and you can't convince me otherwise. In their own special way. Reunion is with no loving daughter, but a loving movie star fantasy crush, who happens to be in the form of a robot bunny, which has traveled through time. And been given as a gift on 5 different occasions, twice by you and thrice by to you, and occasionally fished out of the sewer by Nicolas Cage on the silver screen. You forgot the point you were supposed to be making. Or you wonder where all her sweet weapons went. She indicates in the language of plush toy pantomime that she has no idea. It all blew away in the breeze. Oh, hammer. This tiny hammer is so ridiculous. It's too bad that it... You think that John would like Willy's Wonderland? Fave Cage flick. Came out in the 2000s. I think he would. I don't even know what that is, but I'm pretty sure this guy would like anything. Anyway, I have shit to do, so I can stick around, but I wish you luck and enjoy the awesome mess that is Homestuck. I am. I love Homestuck. I fucking love Willy's Wonderland. I have to say one thing. For any new readers who are new to Homestuck, do not take it too seriously. Just don't take it too seriously. If you take it seriously, you are not going to have fun. Because you will get caught on some minor small detail and it will ruin your day. So don't take it seriously. You guess you could just go around giving them little bobs on the head with it like a silly gavel. No, that would be too absurd, even for... Homestuck never takes it seriously except for when it does. Head with it like a silly gavel. No, that would be too absurd, even for a great prankster like you. You will discard this rubbish immediately. Wait, what is this? Mr. Tyler is sending you a note. Basically, if there's a big emotional moment, Homestuck is never dark and serious except for when it is. I feel like you should take... You kind of have to feel it out when to take it seriously and when not to. Luckily, you kind of get a hang for it, I feel like, in the first few acts. Tyler's handing you a note. John wrote. John, one more thing. This rabbit, I'm sure you noticed, arms and stitches. He's got all 4 of the funny little weapons I mentioned that are all deadly as the fucking Dickens, but that doesn't mean they're meant exclusively for the paws of Mr. Terry Kisser. That is the name I call him. Heck no. You see, I adapted Terry. The essence of Homestuck. It started as a parody, then eventually became the very thing it was parodying. If you look at it at that light, it makes more sense. Oh yeah, that is kind of true. That is basically what it is. It started as a parody, and then started taking itself seriously. And occasionally it slips back into parody. It was meant to be a parody of 2000's internet, but then it became what it was making fun of. Well, 2010s. It's not really 2010s, because by that point, by the 2010s, it was already basically controlled by Hussey only. It's pre-2010s, because it started in 2009. Other trolls are parodies of trolls on the internet. Yeah, they are. Of course, I wasn't around yet. Jesus, I was barely born when Homestuck first came out. Well, yeah. No. No, Homestuck takes place in 2009. The 13th of May, 2009, because that's John's birthday, and basically everything only happens in Well, a little over 24-hour period after that. I'm talking about Homestuck, not Homestuck Squared or Epilogues. Mm. Homestuck mostly takes place during John's birthday, the 14th of. Also, I meant like it was written on canonical story. Oh, okay, I guess that makes sense. But that doesn't mean they're meant exclusively for the parts of Mr. Terry Kisser. That is the name I call him. Heck no. You see, I adapted Terry with some doodads you may deem practical, and infinitesimal later, which is used to solidify them down in the first place, as well as a monstrous figure without for when you would like to hugely them up and wield them yourself. You surely got enough juice in him to make them enormous if you wish. That's silly, what would you even do with, say, a magic needle the size of a skyscraper, for instance? Preposterous! I borrowed this technology from my friend, mother, who had quite the way with manipulating space. Legend tells me she was something of a witch with this stuff. When she was a brave hero like you, and I... John, and the stars themselves twinkled in her cauldron. I'd like to tell you who my grandmother is, I really would, but I can't. I think I have trouble keeping secrets. I like to be honest, just like you, and a lot of secrecy after a while gets me feeling a bit jaded. Because he was writing the story from 2009 to 2010, and there are things in the story that are from 2000 to 2010. But 2010's humor was 90% just referencing the last decade. Ego. The comic is about 2010's internet. Ergo. I see, I see. That's the logic I was trying to follow. I see, I see. Oh, fuck, my chat doesn't work. I forgot to, do the thing with my chat. Don't worry, I'll solve it now. My chat is not on screen, that's stupid. There it is. Boom. Jaded. Green means grow, red means shrink. See you soon, pal. J. OMG, it works. It works! My chat is finally here. Sorry I didn't notice that. Or whatever. Anyway, when she said when whoever wrote this said space, I knew it was Jade because I know Jade is the witch of space. I should have been let you read for a bit. Grandmother? You wonder who that could be. It's probably just Jade, what with all the time shenanigans. John, Huge, and Hammer. Yeah! You got the Warhammer of Zillyhoo! You got the Warhammer of Zillyhoo. Yes, all, behold glory of Zillyhoo. Is that John's voice? That's John's canon voice. I like our cat. You're so divided by a rad new hammer and the cool huge thing abilities of Liv Tyler or Terry Kisser or whatever his name is. What the hell is Terry Kisser anyway? Probably a movie star from the future. And that cinema it was like a major Caesar. Oh yeah, I know, like fucking what was it called? Trickster mode, I think it's called. I've heard about it. If you watch it closer, it's about something. Something that happens thousands of pages in the future. Okay, cool. And I don't mean trickster mode. I see. So whatever here is like, who the hell is Terry Kisser anyway? Probably a movie star from the future. Who cares though? Your bunny will be live for life. Hearts, hearts, hearts. I wonder what other neat things you can get Liv to monstrosify with her sweet eye beams. Wait, what happens to her green hind? Why is she furiously gesture towards the fellow in the green sheets? This is so ridiculous. You cannot turn your back on these people to admire the beautiful hammer for even a moment. I think there is enough fooling around. It's time to get down to business again. The serious business of being an important and heroic leader. John, wear the hood. Be the leader. You're not their leader. You are their friend. There is a big difference. You're prepared to issue your party a highly authoritative series of friendly requests. What is your request that everyone settles down? The squad fellow mediates between two bickering parties and patches up Liv's missing eye. She's nothing if not accustomed to repair work and quickly resumes her plucky demeanor. You then, in your most leaderly way, ask Liv to pilot that enormous battleship. She will now be known as Captain Tyler. She solidifies the ship down to something more manageable for a small bunny captain. Everyone is impressed. Give your wallet to your local chauffeur familiar. He looks puzzled. You inform the party that you will not be going on this journey. Must remain behind and continue looking for your father. But you insist their mission is the most critical of all. You know they can handle it. You believe in them. Instruct Captain Tyler to set a course for the ship's home. They must fly to Earth. You know, generic team made a game that's 99% inspired of a spur, but it's less like simulated adventure and more of just like digging around home builder. It's free, but missing a lot of spur concepts. It's called the Genesis Project. It's free on Steam. Ah, okay. Might check it out. You instruct Captain Tyler to set the course for the ship's home. They must fly to Earth and deliver the tumor to the moon. Everyone salutes their intrepid friend leader. This is what teamwork is all about. And this guy, I guess this guy can go along and help out. Hey, who even is this guy anyway? I guess it doesn't matter. He seems nice enough. John, bid farewell. Godspeed, heroes. You have all the faith in the world that they will be successful. They probably won't. As a friend leader, or sometimes known as a pal honcho, you have done an amazing job and have come up with a plan to politely request order your loyal team to execute it. It is all falling into place perfectly. You are quite sure you have not failed to account for even a single thing. John, I'm worried about Rose. I'm pretty sure she's on her way there to look for Jack. I can't say for sure because I can't see her with my goggles anymore for some reason, but I'm feeling the worst. Just in case, you should try to intercept her before she does something stupid like try to fight him. Also, I guess you probably still don't know about your dad yet, do you? Darn, why do I always have to be the one to break terrible news? John? Oh, God, please don't tell me your computer was in the wallet you just gave that guy. Damn it, John, one of these days you will learn the value of having plenty of backup computers. In fact, whenever you finally leave the battlefield, I'm going to give you the code of a pair of lunch muffs, and then I'm going to force you to keep them on your head at all times. Yeah, you're never going to read this, are you? Huh? Something is happening on the other side of the planet. Something ominous. Something grim dark. I'm so glad that grim dark is a real word. So that things like this happen. So that when things like this happen, they may be described as such. Maybe your dad is over there. You believe you will investigate. John, approach grim darkness. Your neck for the dub. Oh yeah, this person's trans. Yeah, John is actually trans if I remember correctly. Also, Egbert. I don't know much about John June being trans, but I'm gonna call them John for the duration of the comic because I'm not going to change their name during the comic. John is canonically trans in future. They aren't trans yet. I feel like so John is fine. I feel like that at that point there's kind of some people view it one way, some people view it the other way. And honestly, whatever. I'm just gonna call him John because I feel like it. John, John, you're heading into the blackout, so I won't be able to see you until you leave. But don't worry, I can still send you in there because of awesome powers. Remember, smooth move ditching your computer like that. By the way, awesome, incredible leadership you showed. I have to contact you through Rose. That's exposing me to the risk of actually having to talk to her. Your carelessness has put the heroes of light in a very awkward position, John. I hope you're satisfied. Just kidding. She's obviously a little too preoccupied at the moment to be sassing me. Just borrow her computer and talk to me when you get the chance, okay? I'll be waiting. Seer descend. Black rose, green sun. I'll read that later. Right now I'm watching this epic animation. Hi, Black Rose. I'm just gonna call you that. Ah, frick. I have to watch this animation again because my controls do not want to work. Generic Break is a character that Hussey hasn't written yet. The past John is technically still John. I'm transforming him, so think of me giving you like the past to call him John. It's okay, gamer. We're still waiting for June to be canonized in official written work. She's only canon in Hussey's head as of now. Oh, okay. I mean, if a trans person themselves are giving me the right to call this trans character by their death name for the duration of the time before they transition, I think it's okay. Let's go sign up Jack up here. It must be somewhere in the castle. Black Rose because Jack's theme is black. And she's also like grimdark mode or whatever. It's a double meaning. I love those. This is awesome. Dramatic walk down. Descend. If there's no need for quippy dialogue about how these people are dead. We can see they are dead. Breath. Breath. Prospect's breath. Prospect space. There's light. There's time. Broken chest. You got a trophy. Dr. Soldier. He is too frightened to speak. He seems to be indicating that the only reason he survived this massacre was by hiding behind this pillar. Thank goodness for pillars. I got a trophy. I think my fave Homestuck AU is the one where Black Rose Mac dumps Jack Noir. Well, I don't really know much about Homestuck AUs because or Beck Noir or whatever. Yay, Froghead. The stairs are blocked. I suppose you could easily remove the obstacle for that. but that would spoil a perfectly good opportunity to look for secret passages. Except now, it bears an inscription. Our glorious speaker, instead was locked clean off with some sort of sharp like object. Someone around here must hate frogs. I wonder who it could be. It was probably Jack. Home chest. I got a trophy. Examine shell. Ah! Guess I'm just good at this. Open chest. You got a flaming meteor chunk. This isn't even treasure. How is this treasure? Open chest. You got the banner of the villain. You suddenly feel inspired in that genuinely rebellious, united sort of way. Hey, isn't this one of the songs that like gets either reused or reprised during Cascade? I love the implication that Rose was just holding a fire unfazed. Oh yeah, that's hilarious. The soldier. She's apparently swooning over a hero of Lorsch, feared by the two kingdoms, a great man who united opposing sides against a tyrannical king. The world ended in tragedy, of course, which is typical of the folk tales, but it is no less inspiring. And it's a red rock, so it was hot as fuck. The soldier. She's awful a flutter about a legendary hero, some guy who was wary of war, apparently. A simple farmer, handsome and brave. You think you're beginning to fall in love with him too. He's relieved that he and a handful of fellow soldiers have found a secret to escape the bloody rampage. Maybe if they regroup and marshal all the remaining forces, they can take this guy. Yeah, right. She looks scared and confused. There's nothing left to do but hide. The fellow is mourning the dead. This fellow is mourning the dead. He has probably lost many friends today. First he was frightened when you barged in here, and then briefly excited, and now disappointed. You must have thought you were the great Dark Kingdom's defector. Come to save them, alas, it was only a spooky girl with magical wands. Not now. Famously beast. You've never seen anything so sad in your entire life. A beautiful, muscular man stallion struck down in his prime. What monster could be responsible for this deed? Hint, it was Jack Noir. Jack. I'm guessing I can just quickly transportalize and I can probably go back. He's blocking you from the other side. Alright, I guess not. Open curtains. There you go. Another set of curtains. Blue curtains, huh? Get used to opening curtains. Curtains. Kinda looks like Spanish. I don't speak Spanish. I speak about 2.5 languages. And some of my green spare curtains. Just gotta make sure there are no secrets, though I don't expect there to be many. Especially in Burning Dutch. Oh, you're speaking German. That's actually one of the languages I sort of speak. That's a half a language I speak. The other two being my native tongue of Danish and English, of course. There are no secrets in the curtain section, don't worry. Alright, cool. I just can't help but feel like there is something. Oh, hi, John. Hi, Rose. Wow, I did not expect to find you here. You're a What? Also, why are you all gray like that? You look weird. Go. Grog. People. Grog. Rose, I can't understand a word you're saying. It's a lot silly speaking gobbledygook. How the... I know what's going on here. It finally happened. You have gone grimdark. I told you, Rose. I warned you about, what do you call them? The bloodfest of throws? It's okay, Rose. We'll find a cure for your stubborn throws. I'm still trying to find your parents. I thought my dad might have come to this castle to check out that huge black rain cloud. You see that cloud, Rose? It was pretty awesome. Turn off. Go lying. John is so skippity. For that. Oh, you sound kind of upset. What is it, Rose? Chicken. Enough. Go. Going. For that. You're talking about our parents? Oh man, you mean they're here? Good. All. Goes from a new world. Fast to what's hot? Are saying they're in trouble? Oh no, Rose, we have to help them. Yes, I'm frustrated too, but there is no time for such lamentations. You think we can find them again? Oh God. Great, I can't wait to see my dad. It feels like it's been forever since I saw him. Please lead the way, Rose. Okay, John is a party member, but apparently I speak alien speak. The canonical name for the language Rose is speaking is gobbledygook. I hope I did the, I'm assuming that's probably not a Wheeler stop, but the other one of crafting gobbledygook. Vital. And paralyzed. And that goes back here. Cool. Same statue. They make such a cute couple. The king and queen are pretty nice too. This is where John came from. No use backtracking now. Got to see mom and dad. Oh, okay. Gobbledygook. Okay, I gotta ascend again. Having descended, I must ascend. Yeah. On glue like slime. Ah. So gobbledygook. Gobbledygook. Bingo. I don't know, Rose. What happened in here? Yulk. Was it Jack? Are you saying it was Jack, Rose? Oh, no. No. Jagok. What is that, Rose? Are you kind of getting aggravated that I'm talking to you like you're a dog? That is a really nice pillow, by the way. It goes well with your weird dark skin and gothy ensemble. You're welcome. I can kinda see mangled versions of Wotron. You can't say that. What? It's just right. All but one for some reason. Who could have possibly? It was Jack. Stupid. As well with your dark skin. Well, John is an innocent boy, and I'm sure he didn't mean it like that. Don't take it too seriously. By the way, did you know that Karka thinks we were supposed to get married? The fifth would probably wait, I hope that didn't come up as a proposal or anything. So I'm just making conversation. I guess I am a little nervous because technically this is the first time you have ever met, and also you're talking like an elvish mock with some kind of babbling. You don't actually have to get married though. I mean, not if you don't want to. Okay, I'll shut up now. I'm supposing, by the way, Homestuck is layered under so much irony that there are ironic cancellation blogs of people trying to cancel Hussey, like for a bit. They're calling him canceling him ironically as a bit. At the price of oblivion. Malcolm Brown. Oh, hi, Jack. What are you doing now? I'm not joking. I have seen them. Oh. Who's a good doggy? Maybe not him. Round one! Strike! Oh, not again! So I think this all started because they make Jack wear a dumb hat. Amaf is trying to lead the universe over a dumb hat. Strider! Oh my fucking god. What? What? I gotta do the real nasally thing for Terezi. I gotta get that going. What do you mean, what? We just got done talking. I agreed it would be awesome if you didn't bother me for a while. You know, like, well, I guess I agreed over this brutally murdered rat family member or something. Alright, that's right. I forgot. It was like 5 seconds ago. I think that was hours ago for me. I'm a little foggy on all our chronological shenanigans at this point. There's been so much crazy stuff going on here, I have lost track. So you're officially going non-linear with me then. We're just forfeiting all rhyme or reason to the unmitigated clusterfuck, is that it? Dave, your entire existence is non-linear. Don't be so melodramatic. Oops, okay, in the future I'll try not to get to pitch any sort of dramatics while brooding over the Cavenders. So brooding over the cadavers of a slaughtered loved ones. Did you love him, Dave? No. No. But he was your strange human man, Lucius, who taught you to like cool things like swords and puppets and moving really fast. How could you not? Puppets aren't cool. They're shitty small fake people who haunt your dreams and grin like permanent assholes. I was making a joke about being all broken up about it. Like, I can be sad and make jokes at the same time. You are sad but not broken up about it? I don't understand. Exactly. But you said you were grieving. I said we agreed you'd leave me alone to grieve. Didn't say whether I actually would or actually am. Well, are you? I'm grieving to the max like a widow at dead husband island behind these chill as fuck shades. My face is having this crazy attack of the sads. My root's so fucking bananas. You can't you tell? Ah, no, I can't. You don't sound sincere, but it's hard to tell what layer of irony removed from reality your flippant remarks is supposed to be. I bet you really are sad, no matter how hilarious and aloof you think you're being. The truth is a mystery. So behind the slips of a shady riddler. You'll be loosened only 1% of width of Conjurious grandeur of rigid and insoluble puzzle cock. Blah, that makes so sense. I'm sorry you are so flustered by the mention of glittering mythical crypto dick. It honestly makes me think you're not ready for the truth. Dave, your perplexing euphemisms are following what I presume to be the lewd and vaguely intriguing proportions of human anatomy. I think are not as hilarious as you probably believe. In any case, you may be amazed to learn that I am not totally in the mood for your dumb, smart-ass you Swaggly. I have a lot of my own problems here, and they are big, big problems. So why don't you just tell me what you're thinking for once? It's pretty simple. I'm just thinking about how I'm gonna take the sword. Yeah, I never really got why I couldn't just pull it out. Filthiest thing you ever said. Huh? Forget it. Pulling swords out of things isn't how I roll. I'm not John. I'm not John, remember. I am not following. I'm not a hero. My bro was. John is not. John is. My bro was. John is. My bro was. John is. I'm not. Yes, you are. No. Are. No. Yes, we all are. I am the hero of mind. You are the hero of time. That is who we were created to be. Fine, it's a title we inherit as phlegm babies or whatever, but what have I done to earn it? Pretty much nothing but horsing around time and swindling retarded alligators out of life savings. That sword's coming out of his chest, it's coming out clean. Taking it vertically means drawing more blood. Horizontally means a clean break. Check it. Dave, John is a hero unlike me. John picking daisies in the field, none the wiser. Basically. Now don't! Super kick Strider style! Spring. Ow. Dave, get up! No, fuck that. I'm gonna lie my ass right down here for a while. So right down here for a while looking slightly as cool than I make myself out to be ordinarily. You must stand tall. Only a true hero could pull off such an acrobatic. You're right off that handle. That's basically what I just did, isn't it? Yes, that's what I'm doing here. I'm making a point of making every little thing take place that was once mentioned in passing, no matter how trivial, real, or pointless. That's how all the best adventures get strung together. You haven't heard me bleat like a gold for ironic, humorous purposes yet, have you? No! That was something that was mentioned at some point by someone, I forget when or why. But you're on goddamn pins and needles waiting for that, aren't you? Are you about to bleat like an earth goat, Dave? No, fuck that. Then will you at least get up? No, fuck you, go away. Ugh, why do I need to do this myself? What? Suffering myself to the moody nonsense of the curmudgeonly candy marginally candy-blooded foul mouths. Of curmudgeonly candy-blooded foul mouths. I don't know. Why would you even talk to me anyway? Aside from the fact that several like hour from now, you apparently forgot I don't need isolation now to be left alone. Maybe it just so happens that for once this isn't about you. Maybe I'm the one who needs some help. Has that occurred to you, Mr. Cool Kid? Oh. Anyway, I remember now. Sorry if one get curmudgeonly. Oh, okay, I see. Curmudgeonly candy. Subject myself to the bloody nonsense of curmudgeonly candy-blooded to foul mouths. Everyone went kind of shit hot here, and I got bitten, I think, and I kind of forgot where I left off with you. Bitten. What? I remember where this all fits into the chronology. You were with your bro here. This was just before you begged me to show you how to reach God tier. So I did, and then you got mad at me. So you decided to go do your own thing for a while, and since then I've been up to my pointy little knobs to suspend intrigue and betrayal. That sure sounds like a dumb way of saying a thing, almost like Birdian in an inelegant stupidity. It's scenic Birdian is soft like version. Okay. uh, why would I get mad at you? Oh, you'll see. Okay. But yeah, I guess it's about time you showed me what's up with my what's your future child God certification. Hello, Gung. What is that you did your coin flip thing? I don't even remember. I was getting sure you were just bullshitting me and had no intention of ever mentioning it again. Unfortunately, no. I should take the opportunity to apologize in advance. For what? Hmm. I don't think it will be constructive to go into it before it happens. Before what happens? You mean God shooting? Does something go wrong? Everything goes according to plan. But that is all I will say. Remember, this conversation is kind of not supposed to be about you. I know the idea is unpresentable. It's practically unthinkable. I know, but I mean, okay, we can talk about your troll problems, but this is pretty important here. The God tier thing and whether I can actually do it or not. It might be kind of hard to tell on account of me chilling face down in the pavement, and also because downplaying feelings is the chief rule of cool. But I'm pretty pissed about this, which is weird. It's weird to feel mad. Are you too cool for that too? Well, it's not weird to be mad. It just feels like I'm the only one who is. And the only one. It's like I'm the only one who is, and the only one even taking Jack on, even among a group of irate, gnashing shitheads. Hey, what? Actually, you're right. Turns out we really do have a lot of shitheads here. And also, it happens the worst one is the one who happens to be planning to take him on. Okay? And we'll be. It would be a bitch in line to switch the subject to start talking about your complicated problems, but I kinda wasn't done. Fine, but for someone who just told me to fuck off, you were sure recently. But okay, I mean, isn't that what heroes should be doing? Working to take down the bad guy without a whole lot of this fucking grandiloquence and these huge sweeping plans that got nothing to do with fighting him. Like always biding our time, tiptoeing around the unbeatable god boss. John's too nice to get her mad. Rose spends all her time calculating, too focused on Machiavelli in place of sabotage to try anything drastic. Jade I don't even know, probably more of a liability if she got had to take him down. If anything, I bet she just needs protection. What are you saying here, Dave? In this conversation, what is still being about you? I'm just wondering, when does someone actually step up? Jack's got shit to pay for. If that is how you feel, then I think our two problems are not really different. We're both presently concerned with justice. Yeah, I guess. I guess it has been on mine. Maybe I'm supposed to be a hero and rise up to the occasion because there seems to be this little persistent voice in my head nagging me about it. She thinks someone's gotta pay, and it's hard for me to disagree. It could mean one of two things, or both of those two things, like it did for me. Then it could mean one of two things, or both of those two things, like it did for me. What things? It could mean that the agent presently influencing you is a conscience and or an exile. Oh, it's so completely illegal. I'm pretty sure I don't even have an exile. I've never heard any voices or anything. Anyway, you don't have a voice here, so tell you this shit is. Just like so completely illegal. Shit is just like so completely illegal. Wait, what did I just stupid thing I said? This atrocity cannot go unpunished. Responsible into the slammer. Slammer means chain, by the way. Dave, I did not realize you had such a passion for law enforcement. I must say this shocking development is coming dangerously close to giving me a case of the vapors. Oh, okay, that came out wrong. What were we talking about again? Bring Jack to justice? Someone has to make it big. Can't let him go unpunished. If I can really figure out how to reach the gods here, maybe I can be the one to throw him into the slammer. The slammer? Slammer means jail. I don't know what the slammer means. You call it a slammer when you're extra angry at crimes. You call it a slammer when you're extra angry at crimes. It's getting over that important principle, because I'm deputizing you even though you're a kid. If I can take notes on this important principle, geez, I got a fucking pen or some chocolate or whatever. I think I'm following. I love how Diamond's Droog is trying his best to help Dave genuinely, but like male baby rage. But it's like male baby rage. I don't know what that means. Chuck or whatever. I think I am following. You're going to find Jack and put him in jail. Wait, fuck, no, what no? Dave, I know you're likely discombobulated with grief over your fallen man bro loses, but that is extremely silly and doesn't make any sense. I know it doesn't, I'm just saying, what am I even saying here? Shit. Which I think is forever. I mean, the criminals of the justice, young deputy. Each mutinous agent must pay for their crimes. I'm still not sure. You're talking about throwing Jack in the slammer and rambling about Justin and telling me to get pens and such. Not that I'm complaining. Okay, forget this slammer stuff. Slammer stuff. It was stupid. It is about justice, though. And since no one else seems to give a shit about it, apparently falls in my jurisdiction now. Not just going after Jack, but all of the mutants and his agents responsible for crimes. Agents? Agents? Holy shit, why do I care about that suddenly? Anyway, that's more shit that popped into my head just now, so okay. I was talking about Dave's exile. Yeah, I know. I guess who Diamond Droog is, but it's the male baby rage part I didn't. I have other duties to attend to. Well, Noir's cronies are exploitable. Are you saying you have a plan that involves targeting him? No, not really. No. Anyway, it's not like being mad about this and hankering for justice is even the only rational thing I'm currently hot on. I have other duties to attend to. Like what? I must explode this ridiculous illegal edifice. Oh, wait, my fault, wrong name. Oh, you mean this guy, not the Diamond Drug. Yeah, I remember him. I've got to explode this ridiculously illegal edifice. Oh my god, what are these words I'm saying? You have to explode something? Never mind. Are you referring to your plan to blow up the green sun? The green sun. Oh, yeah, that's probably what I'm talking about. Probably. I need to shut up now. I'm sounding like an idiot and my head is starting to hurt. Why don't we talk about your thing now? What justice thing you have to do? I mean, it's actually my turn to talk. Yes, but I was beginning to forget my problem, listening to your highly enjoyable fulfillment. Just please tell me what your justice problem and maybe stop saying stuff. Farewell. Farewell? Wait! No, God damn it, I'm not leaving. Farewell is not even a thing I would say. I would say, Jesus, what am I, a Victorian poet? Can you show me a little respect and assume any time I say stupid just means I'm temporarily being inexplicably retarded? That's what a real friend would do. Okay, Dave, I will show some sensitivity and cast suspicion on the intellectual merit of everything you have ever said. Thank you. I'll further demonstrate my friendship by dominating the rest of this conversation with lengthy accounts of my emotional tribulations, leaving no space for you to submit any amusing out. That sounds awesome. Quiet! Now where was I? Justice problems. Justice problems. Male baby rage is like non-hatred misogyny. Toxic male energy. Figment is being raised to be stoic, not hatred. Oh, so toxic masculinity, basically. I see. Like men can't cry. Yeah, toxic masculinity. I see. Sigh. You see, our aims are not that dissimilar. Our pursuits of justice, I mean. But yours is motivated by anger in the heat of the moment, which is blinding you to the consequences of accepting something very foolish. You're far too cool to succumb to anything like that. Which is why I will come to you. Which is why you will come to your senses shortly. My situation is a little more complicated. It's less personal. Now, once it was a grudge, which rivalry. Now his resolution has become a matter of practicality, if not professionalism, businesslike. The way a true legislative creator conducts her prosecutions. Dave, did you know that centuries ago on my planet, legislative creators were not confined to stop court blocks arguing cases before his honorable tyranny? Oh shit, are you fucking serious? Yes, also, shush. I know you're assessing me due to my use of terms unfamiliar to you, but it's true. They were deployed for guises to apprehend criminals by any means necessary. No, I got that they're like your alien death warriors who were sort of like bounty hunters in olden times, pretty similar to the cyberfood context. I thought I told you to be quiet. I am monologuing here. Anyway, they would not rest until their suspect was in custody, one way or another. They would gather evidence over the course of the investigation, compiling a case to be presented in a trial. Should one be held before the final guilty before the final submission of the guilty corpse to judicial authorities. Personal feelings of vendettas did not matter, nor did even the nature of the crime. Only justice did. They were selected for their cunning and martial prowess, and for their ability to understand the minds of the criminals they sought. I I I gotta go to work. Have a good stream fam. Looking forward to the next one. All right, see ya. Thank you for their cunning and martial prowess, for the ability to understand the minds of the criminals they sought. This is why the burden has to be mine, I think. I'm the only one who knows how to handle her. As such, she's my responsibility. She? Shoosh. Okay, I can't even make little interrogative quips to grease the wheels of your monologue. Oh, yes, that's okay. In fact, it's very helpful. Who do you think? Spiritual. You are correct. The Spirey is one of them all. You decided to figure it out then? I guess so. Well, you decided to figure it out then. I guess so. You don't sound that psyched about it. Well, I'm here talking to you about it instead of actually doing it, aren't I? Are you feeling guilty? Like second guessing whether she deserves it? Not exactly. I think she did on enough terrible shit to warrant legislation. 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 Curation. Legislation. Well, I'm here talking to you about it instead of actually doing it, aren't I? That is not a thing. But yes, the case against her is overwhelming. More than you even know. She's completely out of control now. She has murdered at least one of my good friends and possibly several others. I'm not sure yet. The circumstances are a little fishy, but my investigation is ongoing. And additionally, I've discovered that she is complicit in Jack's rise to power. I first learned she came from your session. I mistakenly blamed you all and took her to a hapless expert. But if another is way for releasing that demon on both of our groups, it's her. Are you sure about that? Yes, and she knows I know. She's been taunting me, trying to stir up our old rivalry. This is what this whole John versus Dave thing has been out about. There's no John versus Dave thing. I know, not really. It's just a game, but the game is serious business to her, like it was during our role-playing days. And just like then, she ruined everything by taking it too far. In spite of all her past crimes, these are not even the most important reasons to stop her. She has decided to fight Jack herself, which is an extremely dangerous and stupid thing to do. Sound familiar, Dave? Are you going to stop me too then? I'll be down or you eviscerate me for my own good? No, I'll just let you try to reach the gods here and then decide for yourself. Are you saying that I won't be strong enough if I do? Objection? What? We're talking about you again. I motion that all Dame's secret testimony be stricken from the record. The emotional rule. The judge wants to see where this is going. No, he doesn't. You know perfectly well he doesn't give a shit. He will clear this court block if he does not have order. He swears to Gigas. Okay, fine. We can keep obsessing over your fuck my sister if you want. It's not like that. Do you think she stands a chance against him? No. Then what's the big deal? Why not let her go get her shit ruined by Jack and let justice happen that way? Because I'm sure that if she goes to find him, it will tip him off to her location in the Vale. I've seen it already. That is why this is no simple vendetta. Bringing her to justice is critical to her survival. So why don't you go do it? Because I'm not sure whether I can. I mean, you can. Alright? No, it's not that. It's just that when the time comes, I'm not sure if I will be able to kill her. I thought trolls were all about gracious murderings. Yes, it's true, and we're supposed to revel in bloodshed as we grow up, and she seems to be embracing her rite of passage with reckless abandon, as I would expect, guarding the bulls by its horns, so to speak. It's a little intimidating, but I'm not sure if I'm ready for that, which I guess is normal? Let me find out. Which I guess is normal? Are you asking me to reassure you about that? Because I seriously don't have a clue. It's okay, Dave. Still monologuing, I guess. I'm not so much worried about not being ready as I am that I might not actually want to be ready. Maybe ever. Maybe there's something wrong with me. I don't understand. It's like we were insane kinds of apeshit over the macabre stuff. Like being all cutesy about execution and smelling cherry blood and all things contrived to get a guy feeling vaguely uncomfortable. Was that all an act? Not an act, just fun. I like fun, Dave, and I also like games. Don't you like fun and games? Of course the fuck not. Liar! Did you say you've killed people before? There's a big difference between manipulating people to their doom with trickery and killing someone by your own hand. It's a bit like having to face your own death and discovering the difference between leaving the responsibility to someone else and doing the dirty work yourself. Maybe you'll understand someday. Okay. I'd like to help you out, but I don't know what advice I should be giving. To a member of a murderous species who's gun shy on going off to justice murder, a murder-happy murderer who's done lots of murders. It was pretty weird and inappropriate for me to be the one to tell you, and fuck yes, go for it. She's got this huge murder with her name on it anyway. I was cruising right at her down Comeuppance Boulevard. So I don't know. Do you want me to tell you to be a better human or to be a better troll? I can't tell you what to advise me, chump ass. Maybe I'm not even looking for advice per se, but I just want to talk to someone about it. Alright, well all I'll say is, maybe if you kill her at least we can finally stop obsessing over her. Yeah, fair enough. Why don't we just do what you think you have to do? And I'll do the same. Speaking of which. Alright, you'll be bugging me about something about showing you got you soon, prompted by this very conversation I mentioned. Who'd have thought? These times shenanigans completely blind when I do this. They practically never even happen. I know. So I hang up now with future you and send purpose during present you about it. Is that how it works? Yes, and I make sure not to reference anything said here to keep it simple. Except like in a halfway that'll tragically logical to your future self, i.e. you right now. If for no other reason than it'd be boring, it's hell to rehash it. That sounds about right, but what do I know? You're the time guy after all. Luckily I will not have to participate in these charades this time around. Does luck actually matter? Exit. End of year 2. Exit. Hmm. Remove this one. Hmm. Insert disc 2. Disc 2 is missing. Album, medium. Keep playing it anyway. You have no idea what the hell this thing is, or why you would need another disc. You just capture log and proceed. Then it's just supposed to be done and you're running out of time. S. Terzi, proceed. Cannot control. Terezi, how can you possibly expect to play this game when you have lost the game disc? All you can do is watch what she decides to do. Find a note stuck to the floor with Nebuchadnezzar's claw. It appears to be written, addressed to you. Written on a page torn from the journal of Friska's ancestor, her songs are becoming increasingly fragrant. Also appears to be written in purple blood. She wouldn't dare harm sweet precious Gamesy, would she? I thought it's almost more than you can bear. You're going to throw the book at her. Cersei, read note. Secret Rom by Toby Fox. Hmm? You cannot wake up because you were not actually asleep. You were just taking a breather in this nice cozy pile of horrifically mutilated scalemates, which were gathered here to break your fall for some reason. Wonder where you are. This is a fancy looking room. It doesn't look like a place you would expect to find on this meteor, at least not in any string canonical capacity. Dapper Kiwi-suited gentleman is quite familiar. You are almost positive he made an appearance in that very crowded dream you had recently. Where did he go? It's funny his room smells funny and fast. As you climb stairs. You cannot ascend. The staircase is suffering from claustrophobic horror and drag. There's the exit door. The door is locked. You will either need a key or to break it down with force. You need to achieve an especially high set of determination to pull that off, though. Determination. She said the undistinguishable word. You have been completely hornswoggled. This whole thing was a setup from the start. A trap deployed by a cunning mastermind. All of the clues are adding up. The blot, the note, the flagrant displays of tricksterism and jippery. The identity of the puppet master behind all of this is now painfully obvious to you. Spider Troll. Jersey Play Records. Select appropriate crime-solving music to save the right mood. With this kind of atmosphere, it is highly unlikely that any crime will stay unsolved for long. But I like it. I'm gonna keep it in the background anyway. No, this vaudevillian combo nonsense will not do at all. That one is just not right for figuring out crimes. Put the record back in its sleeve. Cersei, examine cover. Who's this douche? Who's this douchebag?
I'm going to give you a great song now by Eddie Morton. One of my favorite. I'm going to give you a great song now by Eddie Morton. One of my favorite ragtime era performers on record. It was actually a former Philadelphia police officer. Before he made a big one on vaudeville, and then became a recording artist for such record companies as Columbia. So here he is with a song he did in 1909 called I'm a Member of Midnight Crew. Mr. Eddie Morton.
Just a man afraid to go home in the dark. I always spend my evenings where there's woman, wine, and song. But like a man, I always bring my little wife along. I'm a member of the midnight crew. I'm a night owl and a wise bird too. Home with the milk in the morning, singing the same old song. Rise with the moon, go to bed with the sun. I leave to bed and you'll miss all the fun. Bring your wife in trouble, it will never trouble you. Make her a member of the midnight crew. The fun, it doesn't stop till 12 on happy old Broadway. So what's the use of going home until the break of day? Now something confidential, whisper not above the breath. I once went home at 2 a.m. and scared my wife to death. I'm a member of the midnight crew. I'm a night owl and a wise bird too. Home with the milk in the morning, singing the same old song. Rise with the moon, go to bed with the sun. I leave to bed and you'll miss all the fun. Bring your wife in trouble, it will never trouble you. Make her a member of the midnight crew. I'll forget the night I made 6 robbers run. Although I didn't have a knife, a blackjack, or a gun, I proved myself a hero of a very high degree. I ran for home and 6 of them were running after me. I'm a member of the midnight
Before you can make heads or tails of who exactly this douchebag is, something rolls out of the sleeve. It appears to be a very small record. It's so small. What is such a small record doing in this great big sleeve? You got Homestuck, disc 2. You cannot get over how tiny this record is. It's adorable. I wonder what sort of music it plays.
Bring your wife in trouble, it will never trouble you. Make her a member of the midnight crew.
Mr. Eddie Morton, and I'm a member of the Midnight Crew. Done 101 years ago on the Victor Grand Prize label, and that's Victor number 16324.
Thursday, play your tiny record. Oh. Predictably, you scratch the surface of the disc. What were you expecting? It's almost like you don't even know what a CD is. With the disc damaged, who knows what sort of effects it will have on the data. Better store it somewhere safe to prevent any more mishaps. Seriously, capsule disc. It should be perfectly safe from any similar kinds of damage while secured in your scratch and sniff Moses. Seriously, examine chests. You have spent way too much time calibrating the ambience of your investigation, not nearly enough time investigating. It is one of the most common pitfalls of being an investigator, aside from literal pitfalls, which you actually fall ill to. There are 2 chests in this secret room, nothing out of the ordinary. Chests are everywhere in this lab, and people find it all too tempting to sneak their personal belongings into them for safekeeping. That is until the goods are stolen shortly after by those who can't resist looting every chest they encounter, which is everybody. Maybe these ones obtain clues. Seriously, open chest. You've got a neophyte red glare role-playing outfit. What is this doing in here? You have not worn it since your flarping days. The only part of it you kept at hand was a stylish pair of glasses, which of course since the incident has managed to become a regular accessory. But you cannot imagine how someone could have gotten their hands on this rest of it. Sure, crafted and resourceful criminals at work. Spiral troll, spiral troll, spiral troll. Seriously, wear suit. You don the garb of the legendary legislator. It brings back many memories of the many successful plans prosecutions resulting in the real executions of rival players. Those were the days. Seriously, open another chest. You got your Pyrosprite plush. Pyrosprite plush. Pyrosprite was your scale-mate psychic during your campaigns. He was the melody of loyalty, friendship, and righteous retribution. More than could be said for another partner in justice. There's no hard about it. Not anymore. She's clearly baiting you into confrontation. You mean baiting. Seriously, Hawk Pyro Sprite. I'm pretty sure, old friend. Using a mighty and majestic squeak. It's just been too long, old friend. Now never to let him out of your scent again. This puppet is becoming a nuisance. It appears to exhibit the same incredible puppet fastness properties which Dave's had. Must be some sort of universal puppet enhancement. Couldn't possibly be the same one, because that would just be insane. Hey, where did Pyro Sprite go? There he is. How did he get all the way up there? He's always been quite the slippery scallywag. Maybe he was reminding you to check out the note. You almost forgot it was up there. What with all your furious investigating. Most of which has involved fooling around with records, hugging plush shows, and cosplaying as a childhood hero. Seriously, reader. Just as you thought. It's a message from Riska, someone used to do battle. It was written in games used rich, chilly smelling blood. But it is her red-handed for sure. Her quirk is present, leaving the matter undebatable. Why the hell would she want you to bring this stupid puppet along? She's so weird. There's a journal entry in the back. It probably isn't the slightest bit relevant to the current situation, but you guys it couldn't hurt to read it anyway. Seriously, examine journal entry. I suppose I will have to get used to writing with this hand instead. I now do so in captivity. While I bring my awe to bear on the immense idea of the subjugated hijinks. Took the gesture as plain a bowel from my prosecution's facility, with a lone neophyte assigned to the task. How could I view it otherwise? I was sure they'd drawn from the bottom of their deck, not intended to squander more competent mercenaries on one who they made a show of outclassing before, but I discovered too late that regular was their wild card along. rumble at the rink. How is one allowed to be raised by a dragon in this era, let alone one of such middling blood? The sickly hue of a gutless servant. Those are her of her cats are typically pleased to amount a sluggish cholar bear, or some brainless squawking spleen fowl during petty expeditions supplies a seizure notices on a gambling at property. By what fluke was this woman granted such a weapon, permitting her to look of these delusions of righteousness? Something blocked the light of the unbidden moon, creating the harbors of darkness more grim than what fell the season's apogee. I made the mistake of looking into its eyes, each like a sun concentrated into a small jewel, a too-hot garnet searing through a black veil. I shut mine quickly, but the more sensitive of them was burned irreparably. When I regained sight in the other, there was only red. The fleet was in flames, Neophyte was in deck, pallor little sprite. She mentioned through a ridiculous forest grin. She wanted me to know the name of the beast which also consumed my Luce's hull. And dice were in the hull below, not that my present luck would consent to a favorable roll anyway. I made a move for my blade. She took my arm, which I'm sure she kept in the tiniest of snacks for her. Tiniest of snacks. Ostentatious custodian. Maybe she meant to prove she wouldn't need me not to have my submission. Find her free, 2, 1, or none. I wonder how well she knows. And what I do with my arm she has to fear. I await my trial. Insert disc 2. Oh yeah, we're going meta now. Seer ascend. Terezi owns. Toby Fox. Sis, roof now. Bring the puppet. Upwards movement, huh? You're right to move. Or is that Dave owns? I don't know what it is. It's a most in a remix of a song. If I wanted to, could I have just gone directly, yeah, I could have just gone here. Didn't have to wait for the whole loading thing. Anyway, much fanfare was made of the trial, more than I would have dared to hope. This Medlock has been returning of late. Highblood surely intended to make a spectacle of my conviction. They filled the court like with peasant ravenous for the comeuppance of a blue blood. I wasn't about to deny them what they came for. It was kind of the authority to supply me with phalanx of such impressionable spectators. The equals were nearly as thick in the air as the rust in their veins. Funny how my other senses seem to have peaked since exchanging glances with the dragon. What an extraordinary specimen. I have come to cover this to return my fleet. I know too well the whispers of a dangerous new infatuation when they thicken, but I digress. It's simply enough to note the hostility of the low blood from one aristocrat to another. The subjugulators could not have been pleased, but nor could they have been altogether unamused. I would expect. I wonder if this was part of an infallible game. I'll never understand the riddles. I only regret that I didn't get to hear the opening statement that Pilot prepared against me. The case she compiled from all the evidence she bird must have been damning. I bet her remarks would have strong worse than when she severed my arm. She certainly would have shown me greater mercy by taking the other instead. As I mocked my disguise to the extent of my regret. Had my escape been not necessitated her demise, she would have made a lovely rival. Only she don't discard her child's preoccupation with justice. He might have made his strike and scourge, every inch blacker with torn miles across the land and sea. Unfortunately, the only miles to be found through her bureaucratic calling were those of red tape, and so ensnared one is eventually bound to be choked. With the court block cleared, all that remained to obstruct my freedom was his honorable tyranny himself. Upon reflection, regularly showed me the foresight of a true seer in thieving my arm before the trial. It permitted a fair fight. Though I was free, I had no fleet. No matter, with the gambling as estimated, I'd embrace the certain fortune and pledge to put my sea-drifting ways behind me. If any luck, the skies will be my future. My thoughts again returned to that dragon, but first I was in need of a temporary refuge. I started with the expatriate. Unlabeled record. He owed me for the sweeps of protection I provided after his brazen defiance of the High-Bloods. It was perhaps the only such courageous stand ever taken against a superior by one of his superlicious pedigree, and had not been bothered sticking my neck out for another. But the admiration he had won naturally wore thin as he persisted bemoaned his treason and banishment. And I was saddened to find his habit holding strong. Even now, I wonder if he still believed she was worth it. But my arm would go a little further in squaring his debt with me. Even if I came with both intact, I might have ripped one off and put him to the task just to halt into his blubbering. Dark Clear was always a skilled mechanist, and the work proved an adequate distraction. So pacified, he listened to what I had to say about my recent travails with the law and pirate spite, and what I'd come for in truth, the treasure he'd been keeping safe for me. I cradled the oracle in my synthetic hand, as if praising by weight the mystic qualities what it still concealed. With my vision eightfold seared away, I was blind to its secrets as the old doctor was to its present whereabouts. I learned to keep it cloaked from the awareness of the man who once called me his protege. A backhanded term of endearment from a smug manipulator. Locating his so-called dark pockets was the only gambit I had in countering his milk-tongued doublespeak. Expatriate for Xrom, I guess. Expectorate, for indiscernible reasons, seemed naturally surrounded by those avoid in the dark awareness, and so was uniquely fit to inherit the orb. The doctor could not see his treasure, nor I find it. I considered what to do with it for a while. Should I find Paro's bite by consulting with the oracle, as I've done so often by stealing fortune from my adversaries? I guessed exploiting some technological means of gazing through its surface may have been simple enough, but I hesitated. Every expedient granted by its counsel, though never instantly, came at a price. Knowing his nature, I'm surprised I now recognize it as yet another instrument of his spurious benevolence, dangerous by way of selective divulgence. The sense of infallibility his oracle brought me was superficial, and in hindsight weakened my readiness. Readiness. Knowing my fate so far in advance, I took Red Glaire's threat lightly. The greatest mistake I have ever made was asking the Aura when I would die. Once I revisited the prophecy surrounding this unfortunate query, something struck me. I thought of the man I would have as a mate split centuries from now, who was set to command an army of beasts, the one called the Summoner. My obsession with the dragon suit continues to burn me for so long. Would he be the one to assist me in taming it? I did not have enough knowledge to ask the right questions when I had the opportunity. Were that the case, I might have asked if it would be his rare abilities of communion would bring me Pyro's spider under control. Would it be on account of my influence? And if so, would I exert this influence by taking his will or winning his heart? These are details I would have given no second thought in drawing from the orb, my curiosity of forge usually too much to quell. But now, I have thought of the summoner often. I've been troubled to know that as one so calm-blooded, he could not possibly have hatched yet, or will he wriggle from the caverns for many sweeps. So I must have patience to take on my role in the story of heroism, as a tale which reads to me as though lifted from a child's story. Yet I know I'd be a fool to doubt its veracity entirely. He would rise through the ranks of the cavalry, represent their Shroom command, having proven the most skilled and fearless of them. He would exhibit a remarkable pupation, the sort only recorded in myth, growing or perhaps simply revealing a striking pair of wings. His army thus inspired would spearhead a major rebellion, surely one of the at least up in the scale of the sectarian revolt crushed by the Highbloods, who thereafter forbade its mention, or any invocation of the heretical symbols at all, even in private journals, which is why I will stick to the fable of the summoner, and risk another execution with even oblique reference to compelling tale sufferer. A solution to the summoner's mutiny is foggy, as I only understood what has been relayed through me, and through the brief answers I thought to solicit. Ultimately, the ire of the Condens would be such that in the sudden conflict she would banish all from the homeworld except the young. Except the young, she would scatter all who reach maturity to the stars to fight in her wars. I assume to keep them occupied, existing in a less centralized state from which such a coup may arise. This is still an incredible notion for me to consider, and I cannot imagine how she would come to force such an upheaval in our civilization. Though I suppose she will have, beside the advantages of an unparalleled lifespan and the leverage extended by the hideous psychic prongs of her deep undulated monstrosity, that is, until it chooses another little witch to serve. Nevertheless, I take the prediction as truth, and find it amusing that a home world dominated by children will be the great summoner's legacy. One of them, at least. More importantly, and less amusingly, his legacy will be my demise. You see, I first learned his name when asked who would be the one to kill me. I have never spoken nor written of him out of contempt for the prophecy, but do so here, in my final entry for this journal. I took this to be a pitiful fate, and scoured the orb for any means of escaping it, or at least to salvage a little dignity from the tale of my downfall. Alas, it has no consolation for my vanity. But as I sit here, deciding what to do with the damnable little sphere, I understand my error. It was not failing to chart a course for future events to turn my fortune's tide. Even so many sweeps from now, it was believing the future was mine to know and fortune mine to control. If this hero is meant to breathe life into my embittered heart, and if he is to earn the right to run it through, then so be it. For him, I will commit to this page my highest expectations, and for what precious uncertainty is left in my future, I renew my vigorous anticipation. The oracle I will resolve to part with, I will conceal it in a crypt bearing the sign of the expatriate, with a map to its location hidden in this journal. To whoever finds it, be wary, for the truth it tells you may leave a new zookeeper blind as I was, though no more. Adjust this investigation. Adam Brown. Flip. Objection. Uh. Still have no control, eh? The world is falling apart, yay. Motherfucking jury. Hey, Red Clear, nice outfit. Same to you, Vriska. As much as it pains me to admit, your fruity orange fairy suit smells delicious. Thanks, I see you finally wised up and started taking this violence seriously. It was hard to antagonize you, probably why you refused to get in character. I am not in character. This is serious business, Vriska. See, I brought my deadly can sword and my cool coin and everything. Yes, I can see that. You come for revenge, then? I thought we settled this all a long time ago. It's not, no, not revenge. Justice for the despicable murders of our innocent friends. Murderers, like plural. Vriska, please, do not try to deny it. I found the evidence. Tavros, Nebata, even Gamzee. I mean, really, Vriska. Gamzee? Gamzee isn't dead, you dope. He flipped out or something, and now... Well, yeah, okay, there was like... one murder I was responsible for. You know, Tavros? That was me. I guess. But that's it. He's the only one I killed. Just that one guy. Facepalm triple combo. We both know you can't beat Jack. All that will happen is you will lead him here and he will kill us all. You'll follow your pixie trail with his clean canine mount. I've already seen the consequence in my mind's eye. Fascinating. Why don't you tell me your terms already? We got my pixie trail. At this rate, my snoring will lead him to us. Lol. What I propose is simple. I flip. Heads, you stay. Scratch, you go. You're kidding, right? You want luck to decide this? Maybe you're forgetting who you're dealing with. I'm the thief of light. You really expect me to lose to a simple coin flip? I've got all the luck, remember! I did not forget. What will it be, Marquise? Just flip the fucking coin, you fight. I'm guessing it just goes like this forever. This is badly damaged. You can no longer play Homestuck. Quit. You are forced to quit. You will not be able to resume playing unless you can repair the scratch in disk. You will need to seek the service of someone who is capable of fixing a scratch. A scratch doctor, if you will. Visit doctor. You rang? It was a joke. Of course you didn't. I don't have a dollar bill, remember? Oh, please come in. Welcome to my apartment. I trust you'll find my voice is more palatable against this decor. I continue to be an excellent host. I'm expecting 2 more guests later. First one, and then another. Make yourself comfortable in the meantime, but don't touch the candy on the table. I was reserved for one of my guests. Let's have a look at this disc. She really did a number on it, didn't she? It's virtually unplayable like this. What a shame. There are many moments trapped in this disc which you would have no doubt find to be quite exhilarating. But yes, I can fix it. It will take time, though. I estimate, by which I mean I am certain, by way of omniscience, that when I am done we will have reached just shy of the green circle and... Above, I'm sure you have already presumed this mark represents the beginning of Act 6. This should be ready to run in time to witness the critical event, a confluence of thickly interwoven, a concurrent circumstances which have been meticulously arranged by myself, influenced to a much lesser extent by you, and by an even more negligible degree our heroes. The scratch will be healed in time to watch you heroes put into motion. Yes, the scratch itself. If you don't mind waiting here while I complete my repairs, I will tell you the rest of the story. I will show you as well as I recover data from the disk. The visuals I supply will be nothing more than abbreviated snapshots, and my telling will be abridged. Immortality notwithstanding, I'm not going to live forever, you know. Tick. And for once in my life, time is at a premium. Let's get on with it. Where were we? Fuck. Never mind. I figured it instantly because of my infallible intellect, limitless knowledge, and my mind-boggling charisma. Granted, my charisma has less to do with it than the other qualities, but it didn't hurt, did it? Here, I'll show you. This year of mine, I challenged the thief of light to a simple game of chance. If the result was the undamaged side, the thief would agree to stay. If not, she would go. The result of the flip was left inconclusive, at which point you decided to pay me a visit. But the inconclusive should not be confused with the uncertain. The actual result was trivial. It was a constant across all timelines, but the seer and the thief knew this. The thief used her ability to seal the fortune of her opponent. It forced the flip to yield to what she regarded as the most favorable outcome. The seer anticipated the move correctly. This is why I don't care much for gambling. While a sucker is born with each tick of the clock, a cheater is born with each clock betwixt. Betwixt. Also because it is boring, and I am already a very wealthy man. The seer relayed her terms through the generally understood argot of an assassin. The result, go, while at face value would suggest the thief was allowed to leave, was actually seer's code for a threat of death. This was obvious to everyone, including the thief. The thief turned to fly away, making a show of claiming her prize. The seer would stab her in the back the moment her guard was dropped. This was her plan, not a particularly clever tactic in its alright, but its ingenuity didn't dwell in the novelty of the ruse, nor even the neutralized probabilities of the game of chance. Psychology was in play. Actually, the thief knew this was her intent all along. She knew the seer would have understood the outcome to be rigged, and that she likely intended to kill her as a consequence of the fixed result. She was like, this was to be seen as an implicit dare to the thief to allow the flip to fail fairly, something which the seer knew the thief's ego would allow. And the seer knew the thief knew all this as well. Just another pair of cheaters to play cards face up, amateurs. Each was gambling, not with any vehicle of probability, which had been eliminated from the question, but with each other's intentions. The thief indeed took the seer's bait, sealing that luck needed to affect the flip in defiance of her dare, and in turn to leave, she posed a dare to her own to the seer, challenging her to back up implied threat. This was the thief's gamble. She wagered the seer would not be able to go through with it. It turned out she was right. So ends the tale of rivalry. Well, there's a bit more. In order to understand its proper conclusion, we should first catch with another of my other proteges from whom I'm expecting a message shortly. The other seer, the other hero of light. Talk. Tick. Tock. Round 2. Strikes! Here we left our human hero of light. Oglopari! She flew away to take vengeance on the no side of the scratch. That is the one less angry and dangerous. The one not yet unmotivated by duel. Compelling but not particularly challenging. The seer couldn't win this duel. My apologies if this spoils the outcome from you. I can't speak as discreetly about such matters against this canvas. I warned her. I warned my neophyte protege not to stare into that ball. Talk. Ook genoeg begrepen. I told her no. I told her about stairs to the power of Y. Moving on. I remind you that the pacing of my account be characterized by a reduction in granularity from what you have come to expect by way of an undamaged disk. You will imagine the remainder of the dual to be in sensational and reconsider my steady distribution of facts as if they were as of candy poured from a bottomless white hemisphere. At dual ends, the seer dies, the slayer departs, the air comes back to life. Its outcome was hardly a point of suspense. It would be disingenuous to me to present this as such, and I will not belittle your intelligence with such a ploy. It would be rude, and I'm too well dressed for that kind of behavior. If there truly stood some chance to perm to the heir's corpsehood, I can hear you asking now, how could this moment later come to pass? For that matter, what sort of story would this be, with a human hero of breath made to stare a cadaver? Definitely not the one the Alpha timeline would allow. And what sort of spectator would you be, forgotten the terms ruling the conditioned immortality of one with his previous similarly unceremonious impaling? You've done nothing to earn martyrdom. By which we might laud his fall heroic. Nor had he tasted notoriety to secure a death one might parse just. And while I can't give you my assurance, I'm reasonably convinced of this much. When a hero of breath dies for good, it won't be as a scoundrel, but not for a lack of a devoted mentor. If I had served as his mentor directly, rather than his mentor's mentor's mentor, he may have stood a fair chance of perpetuating something underhanded. At the very least, his jokes might have been better. Instead, he got her, the other hero of light, always bucking and fussing and meddling. What's her deal? Let's find out. I mentioned there was a bit more to her story. I believe it's time to resume it. I trust you won't mind if I step away for a moment. I have important guests arriving soon. If you need me, I'll be up here making sure everything is in order, which it already is, and keeping an eye, which I don't have, on the clock, which I don't need. Tick, tock, tick, tock, bonk, tick, tock, tick, tock. Barely paying attention. Oh yeah, he did exactly that. Noticed the fairy dust and ran off. Talk. Survivor 7 and Mobius strip. Ah. Apologies for my preoccupation. I've managed to pacify the rowdier of my two other guests with sugary little black dogs, so that I may continue my narration, but only briefly. In a moment, so that I may continue my narration. And I will go stand over by my typewriter and teach my neophyte protege the consequences of taking advice from strange men over the internet. While I continue to attend to my second guest, who is you from an earlier point in this story. Remember? We met here in my apartment a little while ago. At that moment I was busy hosting you from the future, who is you right now, but I did not mention this at the time. I would have introduced your past self to your future self and vice versa, but it is a well-known fact that past and future selves tend not to get along. A good host would never tolerate the potential for discord among guests, and as hosts go, I am simply the best there is. Please don't be alarmed. Past you was just leaving. Or was I? Ah, of course. The two heroes of light had challenged the same Jack Noir, the one straddling the scratch, about 20 hours of his own time to circumstantial a simultaneous pair of duels. Circumstantial simultaneity is a concept more complex than its temporal analog. It is valuable for examining the properties of paradox space. It is the it is the agent responsible for the major cosmic event, which pre-extinction Alternians came to refer to as the Great Undoing. The same concept rules the innumerable lesser events by which this critical moment shall catalyzed, including the break, my employer's arrival, the detonation of a very powerful bomb, and my own death. It's an abstraction weaving together the fortunes of otherwise perfectly disparate chronologies, such as those bound to a pair of distinct sessions. It's not fully comprehensible to a mortal mind, and the length I will go to explain it to you will not extend beyond the sentence, but the story will. The slayer was, for the moment, unmotivated by the thief's motion for a compelling duel. This side of the scratch, he opted for a more ruthless and calculating policy of extermination. On his arrival, not about to repeat the mistakes leading to his banishment, he quickly obliterated all 12 planets, followed by splattered and durst to weed out those who might outsmart him in some manner. With as little fanfare, he seized the opportunity to follow the thief's trail quickly, faded, and destroyed their hideout in the vale. And now, knowing her position, would soon return for the duel she wanted, but not without a pair of trophies. Tick tock. Again, sorry for the interruption. My conversation with the girl ran a little bit long, slightly exceeding the 1 second I scheduled for it. This is where events begin to outpace my awareness. The deeper into this dark pocket we explore, the more I will be forced to speculate. I really have cause to rely on probability, but luckily for you, my guess is up better than anybody's. Tick. I've always believed that a good storyteller should keep a comprehensive record of past events on hand, a scrapbook of personal significance, for instance, from which I can piece together current moments from past ones in a similar, if not identical, nature. It's more efficient. That's so logical. It's also logical, since there is essentially nothing new in paradox space. Everything that can happen is either visual or substantial reproduction of something which has already transpired in the timeline, after or otherwise. Tick. And if I'm going to speculate on this duel, I might as well make use of earlier clippings. For the Slayer, this was round 1 against the Hero of Light. All I really need to flip is to flip it turnways, like so, and we have round 2. Strife! The thief would probably roll her dice. And just as probably due to her impressive hoard of stolen fortune, she would have 100 chance of rolling her most favorable result. Ordinarily, this result would be almost impossibly improbable. The odds of the roll would be 1 in 16,777. It's now 16,777,216 to be specific. And to be less specific, 1 in 8 to the power of y, where y is 8. Tick tock. Tick tock. In round 2 of this, Slayer would not be merely compelled, but challenged, if my guess is right. Challenged by one claiming godhood before reaping the prodigious spoils from striking down a formidable endgame foe. One with the guile of a cheater, the luck of a clover, clover undertail yellow, the hubris of her mentor, and the drive known only to be pathologically competitive. I believe he'd be challenged, yes, but not outmatched. As one who shares the Slayer's source of power, my projection must give him the advantage, even if so. But even so, I continue not be a gambling man. I didn't stop being a thing that was true or anything. Tick tock. I wish to be sure that he was. If I was, I wouldn't bet against her. Moving on. On. Let's pull back from this ever-narrowing dark pocket. All this uncertainty wearing thinner than the only pair of pants in an immortal's wardrobe. I very much enjoy navigating the vortices of alternative possibility. The path which alone has my absolute mastery is the alpha timeline I continue my define, which boasts exclusive rights both to my birth and to my death, two circumstantially simultaneous events. Any divergence from this path to my knowing will taper into blackness like rotting roots. But if I was a seer, such offshoots would be fully within my domain. And if I was a seer of mine in particular, synaptic causality would be my specialty. A seer of mine would have given you a more reliable account, perhaps, but then she would do many things I wouldn't. Tick. Seer would suggest her allies in battle weapons, but her vision, she would shift through the rows of her comrades, pour tactical inclinations, and examine the grim consequences. Seer would not charge to the fray headlong, but erected doctor with a baton. She would have to decide to unscrew the obvious gambits and find the path to victory disguised cleverly as setback, or even imminent defeat. She would behold the fortunes of friends and foes in totality and appraise the contrivance of luck itself. She would know its mines were not to be plundered, but simply explored and charted carefully. True seer would know that where luck is a given, where it is absent, and more importantly, where it doesn't matter at all. Tick. And she would know victory doesn't matter in a reality where all else is doomed to fail. What sort of story would this be, with her knight and seer made to stay cadavers? Certainly not one the Alpha timeline would allow. And not one she'd allow either. You're so cool, bro. Sloppy makeouts now on the roof. What are you doing here? And then it's you. I really gotta quit soon. Soon. Ah. I think after that S page, we're gonna end. Yeah, we've already seen this actually. Suck. All of the dots, Sean. All 6.777216 million of them. Still dead, huh? Or you're too busy weeping over her corpse to pick up that headset and answer me. You can't fool me, John. I know you're not staying dead for long. It's not just because I already see you're alive in the future. You see, we're both the best there is, and therefore we have special privileges when it comes to mortality. It's hard to keep a god dead for good. We can only die under very specific circumstances. Did I mention? TikTok. Heroic. Just. Heroic. Just. Nothing too glorious about the way you died, I bet. Let me guess, even after all my lessons, you allowed yourself to get sucker stabbed, right? Pretty lame. I mean, lucky for you it was lame. I guess being lame pays off when dying a hero what's get you killed. If our hero Rev Reach got here, would have been completely indestructible, lol. Damn, I forgot I was going to stop ripping on that guy since he got stabbed through the chest and died. Whoops. Anyway, I guess you're probably safe from the just death too, since I'm pretty sure you haven't done anything all that despicable. Yet. Stop. We're gonna have to end here for today. This looks really fucking pretty. I like this. This looks cool. This is the cool stuff I've been waiting for. So anyway, it's been fun having you here. Remember to like, remember to subscribe. Oh, and even the logo changed to from the guy logo to Doc Scratch's logo. Anyway, remember to like, remember to subscribe. I already said that. But until next time, jizz up. Out.